Hey folks, it's Rob, and this is Master of Orion. No, not the original Master of Orion, which I played more than 20 years ago, and was one of my favorite games ever. No, this is the new Master of Orion. But let's do something about the music. It's a bit epic at the moment. Audio. Holy crap, even louder. Okay, let's get the music down. Okay. And the ambient, just a bit. Although it seemed to... I don't know. Whoa, it just... Okay, this is an early access game. We got a little bit to deal with here. Okay. Right. So, wargaming, the people who do World of Tanks, probably the most famous thing they do. This is their little passion project. And by little, maybe not so little. They, first off, get the license to Master of Orion. And secondly, start pouring money into getting the original production team and major voice talent to make what is apparently a rather attractive-looking game for a game that just went into early access. Now, right now, not everything is functioning. I don't believe the multiplayer is working yet, which is a new thing for this. Single player's working. I actually was playing a fair bit of it last night. So this is not the usual let's try and that I am coming in blind, but I couldn't help myself, okay? But it was too late for me to do recordings. So we have resolution. Now you can see it says blank at the moment, but I am running at 1080p. We have the gamut as usual. Currently, this is a Unity kind of thing. So right now we're on beautiful. I expect that'll change over time. I do have 4x AA going at the moment. You have a gamma slider. We can have the VSync on or off, and you can have full screen on or off. No window. No edgeless window, as it were. You can have a button for optimal system settings. I don't know if that actually works here or not. Interface, English. Alright. Controls, rebindable. All kinds of keyboard controls you might want. We just had a look at the audio. Gameplay, we can turn on or off the Galactic News Network. Some people kind of hate that. Some people like it, apparently. I always liked the Galactic News Network in the original version of the game, but now it's voice acted, and I can kind of see how that might be really annoying to some people. So maybe in the future they'll introduce it where the voice acting's not there and it's just like the headline music, because actually that's what it was originally, and that actually was quite cool. That that kind of epic breaking news. I don't know. I'm an old person. I don't think breaking news does that anymore. Breaking news just kind of throws up on the bottom of the screen. Breaking news: celebrity did something stupid. I don't know. Breaking news doesn't really mean anything anymore. But that's another thing to rant about in our time. So we can show numeric damage on or off. We can have the health bar for only selected. You can have them on or off. Let's throw them on for right now. You can link into your wargaming.net account. Apparently this one promises to have additional features eventually. Content-wise, right now you can have pixel ships. Let's show you we'll show you the pixel ships in a bit. Actually, right now, yeah, why not? All right. So back to the main menu. Let's set up a game. Now I have a game in play already. I played this game for 6 hours last night, and I had to force myself away at like 2 in the morning. So I'm enjoying it. But I have some qualms. Let's go and show you what we did last night. Right. Did a human empire just do a kind of bland off the camera thing originally? That was my intention anyway. And we've made Sol into a Gaia planet. Right? Here's our interface. As you can see, you can... Right. Let's explain some of what's going on here. Okay, you have individual people you can assign into slots, right? Simple and straightforward. Each slot does a certain amount of production. As you can see, you can get diminishing returns based on the amount of workforce you have in certain locations. So while this guy does 5 science, over here he'll produce 5 food. Over here he'll produce 3 production, because that's getting basically suboptimal. And some people can be on strike. And I need to choose production here, so let's see. There's a pollution factor. You can see pollution's at 17% on my planet, so we're going to tell it to clean up pollution. And technically I'm at war at the moment, diplomacy-wise. I've met everybody. And I'm at war with the Sakara, who I got along with just fine for a long time. And then they started getting a bit pushy about me not having enough of an because I didn't have that much in the way of forces. I wasn't really doing anything against anybody. Because initially I was just kind of in this little arm of space over here, right? And I couldn't get past the unstable warp points that are here and here, right? And that was kind of cutting me off and leaving me basically just with Slop Prime and these guys over here up against mine. And so I started building armed forces and, you know, filling in my colonies, and they got very much annoyed with me. And apparently all the AI gets very much annoyed with me because I am well ahead, basically. I am scored 5 times as high as the second highest ranking player here. And my conquest, this is my military score, is vastly more than the rest of them combined. Not all the victory modes are currently in the game. Again, early access. Specifically, this is the early access as of the 26th of February. So this game is going to continue to get updated over time. There's no espionage right now. That's a big deal. Certain races aren't in right now. But possibly this game is a bit easy, which is my main concern, at least right now. Now, admittedly, I was kind of locked away in my own little arm of space, but I only had to deal with one enemy race for a long time. And I just kind of let them be, and eventually I decided I've had it, and I've gone and killed their capital and colonized it. Right now, I'm well advanced in technology.
Research continues as expected, President.
As you can see, generally voice acted. We're about halfway through, a bit more than halfway through the tech tree, okay? I know where Orion is. There's Orion. There's the Guardian ship. 57,400 score it has. So that's effectively a ranking. My current fleet guarding Slaw Prime is 96,000. And this cruiser that these lizards can come up with is rated at 3,454. Suppose we could show you some combat. This is just a space factory, so it has no actual combat capabilities. So if I poke my head out over here, so you'll move to the warp point on your turn. Next turn, you'll move a certain amount of distance between warp points. I'll move the entire way because my engines are good enough. You can see them kind of moving. Oh, here we are. We're going to show you some space combat here. I have one destroyer versus their cruiser. My chances are unfavorable. Now I can simulate it, and it'll just like run the numbers and be done. Tactical is basically like simulation, except much more cinematic. These are the pixel ships, by the way. Now these rocks actually are barriers. Yeah, a little outmatched. This is a much smaller ship. And there wasn't anything for me to do. This just automatically happens. It's interesting to see it happen, to see how things work. But, that's it. That's a bit of a shame. I didn't really want that thing to get caught out by on its own like that, but, not a huge deal. If I press the move button, we'll move in like that. As you can see, I got notices here that population has grown on these various planets. If it was maximum population, I'd want to go in and maybe reorganize my priorities. Up here in the corner we have command points. Command points are used to basically allow me to operate my ships. They're essentially like supply. Okay? And supply is used up on the ships themselves and various little battle stations. These military outposts. Those help interdict my space and make sure like my space is more secure than it might otherwise be. Here we have credits, BCs. BCs basically I think of them as billion credits. But essentially that's the income we make from our population and from various structures. And also from trading with AI, with our opponents. Although right now they're all so pissed off with me that they're not going to trade with me. Here, I'll show you. So here are the Alkari, right? The Alkari are a pretty peaceful race. They're generally not all that hostile, but you can see that they are afraid, right?
May the winds of Skriak bear you along, ruler.
I would like to have a trade treaty.
Very well.
Ah, okay, I got a trade treaty off them. Awesome. I'm actually quite pleased with that, because I'd like to keep things generally peaceful and happy. I'm the freaking humans. Lots of empty worlds out here. The AI is not exploiting them, which is why I'm thinking that maybe the game's a bit easy at the moment. Right? So far, right now, the Mershans are busy fighting with the Alkari, and that's what they do, and Bulrathi are fighting with the Cylons, and that's what they do. And the Slaw are basically fighting with me. But, no one's filling in about half the galaxy. And this is not early in the game. The game has 226 turns left out of 1,000. So we're basically 3/4 of our way through the game. So I'm hoping that changes, or maybe it's just part of the dynamics of the map. Like, maybe it's unstable warp points that are really just tying things in. And because I wasn't in the mix of things. This is just a medium-sized map, by the way. The bigger... not all the map sizes are in the game. Again, early access. Let's show you beating up on a world, I think. Oh, now you've seen the pixel...
If I may have a moment.
Critical pollution. Okay, what's up? Yeah, 66%. That's a big deal. Okay, let's crush the pollution. Options wise, yeah. We'll go back to regular ships so you can see what they actually regularly look like. The pixel ships is just kind of something to look at. Right. We got a fleet here. We got a cruiser. 2 frigates. And our cruiser. Let's go beat up on Tamak 2. Alright, so we're in orbit. Now we're going to go and tell it to attack. And you can see here we have our fleet line up and their fleet line up. We have an excellent chance to beat the crap out of them. We're going to do tactical just so we can see the fight. And you can see the ships. This is pretty nice. This is a very nice implementation. They're like, okay, I'm going to get out there and fight. This is a Titan class. That's a battleship. These are cruisers. Just to give you an idea of scale. As you can see, we're already beating the crap out of this stuff. So these rocks actually do get in the way. There we go. So yeah, lost a destroyer, lost a frigate. But I blew the crap out of their stuff. Now we can attack the colony. And you know what? Let's just drop it all. There we go. So, that's what that looks like. Of course, you can also use you can send armies to invade. Yeah, here's the critical pollution. We'll be dealing with that. Events happen. You know. Here's our Empire view, as you can see. Showing all the little planets, and, you know, we can... Oh, well, we what to do and what to operate. Honestly, this is a nice overview, but I spend very little time in the screen. Ship design. You can do some designing. Alright, let's say I wanted to redesign our Titan class, right? So let's edit it. We have two base models. We have the main and the alternate. Each race has their own ship designs. You have paint scheme themes. I'm expecting more to come along down the line, or your own ability. Maybe there'll be a way to make your own designs. I don't know. I'd like to be able to change colors. Humans are always blue right now. I'd like to be able to, like, as a player, I like to always have my own choice of color. So you can choose various core systems. The only reason you want to choose a lower grade is because it's cheaper, right? The adamantium armor I'm currently equipped with costs 192. The zordium armor would cost 160. Neutronium would cost 128, as you can see. Drive. Again, only reason you want to go with a lesser drive is because you want something cheap. But this is a Titan class. Why am I cheaping out on the biggest freaking vessels my empire is going to build, right? The positronic computer. Again, the only reason you choose something else is because you want a lower grade for cost. Specials is where you actually have choices. This vessel has 6 slots. And I have a range master targeting unit, structural analyzer, and a battle scanner. The computer put this design together for me. I didn't actually do anything in its design. As you can see, we have heavy fighter bays, iron pulse beams, fusion bombs, phasers, ion pulse beams, and phasers. Now, these will be mounted in different ways. These phasers face any direction, and there's 12 of them. And I believe we have this modifier, point defense. So these are meant for shooting down missiles that are inbound. And this here, the ion pulse beams, these also face in any direction, but these are continuous fire. No, I think these are just basically they fire in any direction, but they're to overload shields, right? And then we have the regular phasers, 32 of these. They face in any direction as well, but these aren't the point defense ones. These are just the regular ones. These are the ones for blowing up ships. And then I have heavy fighter bays. They don't actually have a facing. They just basically have fighters. We have various stats based on the stuff that's involved. I can rename it. It'll take 10 command points to keep in the field. It has a little bit of space left on the inside, as you can see. Space is a factor. And it has a rating based on its military power. So, you can do that with all your stuff. Or you can just let the computer generate the designs. That's up to you. You might want to have different weapon systems as they become available, or you may have preferences. That's mostly what you're going to be customizing, I think, is actually just basically the weapon systems. And maybe the specials. Here you can see Space Monster, the squid. It has a rating, 942. Initially, your ships are like, maybe at best, 100. So that's actually a barrier to colonizing this planet. Which would be Nakada Prime, which is an ocean world with abundant resources and size medium. So usually these are parked around nice places. And like here's the Guardian, you know, for a Guardian of Orion. This is actually Orion. It's a Gaia world. Huge and ultra rich. It's a really nice place. I should probably just go there and knock it out sometime. But yeah, this is Master of Orion, the new one. Really have to think of a way of referring to these. Because you have... Alright, right now to get this. To get into the early access, unless you have like some review copy, or you are one of their own assigned testers, you'll have to buy the Collector's Edition. The Collector's Edition has Master of Orion, the original, Master of Orion 2, Master of Orion 3, and this game all as a bundle for $60. Now, Master of Orion is a classic, but it is also essentially a DOS game. I played it on DOS 6 way back in the 90s. And I might make a video for you showing it, but it's fun if I can get it to record. Master of Orion 2. Also a fun game, expanded gameplay. Master of Orion 3, when it came out, was... Oh, I was so excited looking forward to it, and I was so disappointed when it came out. That is more than 15 years ago now. And... Master of Orion 3, in some ways, you weren't really playing the game as opposed to watching the game. And in other ways, it was horribly unbalanced. Patches have supposedly fixed it up 6 ways to Sunday, but honestly, I don't know. That ship's kind of sailed. Master of Orion 3 is now just officially a bad game. The one that was so bad that basically killed the franchise. So, of an exceedingly popular game franchise. But here we are back. Let's show you some more of the voice work. Let's go and have some words. Right. So Mark Hamill voices this guy. This guy, you'll never guess who's voicing him, but he's from Firefly. Let's have an audience.
What would you ask of the Quanta Potentate?
Oh no! He voices the advisor. Yeah, he does not voice this guy. Sorry, folks, I'm wrong. I would like. I don't have enough money to do a trade treaty. Oh. I usually have so much money. Alright, back. Goodbye. Sorry wasting your time. This guy. This guy, if you've played Borderlands or Borderlands 2, you'll hear this voice.
Come, let me see you bare your teeth.
I think we've heard the Mershon leader in Fallout 4 and certain other games. Let's see.
Welcome back, bold leader.
And Michael Dorn is the narrator of this game. But we'll have to get something to make him get the narrator going. Let's see. Let's try Sakara.
You is not welcome here, unworthy one.
I think maybe a bit too much processing's gone into the voice work, though. Or it's a bit too... a bit too encoded down. You know, a bit too compressed. It's hard to say. Yes, you're at war and you're afraid of me. I want a credits payment. I want all your money. I also want an annual payment. Alright, about 50. I'm not going to bankrupt you. No?
Time counts and keeps counting, and the answer still is
I'm not giving you 2 of my systems. Fuck you. I'll take off the annual payment.
You've worn my patience thin.
So that means end of negotiations, basically. They'll only negotiate so much. That has always been the case. What else to show you? Let's start a new game. Main menu. It's very polished for an early access game. I do like it.
Hailing from the cloudy planet Altair, the proud Alkari are an old race of avian hominids. Although well known for their peaceful disposition, they are fierce in combat, and will rarely back out of a fight if they believe they have just cause. Under the supervision of the controller at Mentar, a sprawling network of Cylon communities comprise the Quanta, devoted to the unraveling of the mysteries of the universe.
He will just talk all the way through that entire description. But as you can heard, Michael Dorn played Worf on Star Trek The Next Generation, and was Ir Weasel. Oh, God. So you can set up a game. You have circle or spiral currently. Small, medium, large. Put a small one. Yeah, okay, that'll cut it down. AI opponents. Instead of having the humans, let's have the Alkari. There. And instead of Sakara, let's have Bullrathi. There. Actually, if we keep that this way, no one's like gonna just be natural enemies. Like if you have the Mershan and the Alkari, they're just gonna be pissed off with each other all the time. At least that's what I remember. Now you have a Big Bang seed, so if you want to see the same universe, basically you can use the seed. You want to cut down on it. Difficulty level is only average right now, and it doesn't go any further than that. Advanced settings, you have the pirates on and off. Pirates were a thing I had to deal with in that game from the get-go, but they were never any kind of real threat. You have racial traits, monsters, the pixel ships we've shown you before, random events that can happen, balanced starting conditions, yeah, we want that. You can turn off the excellence and diplomatic victories. Let's go in and we'll have the advisor go and have a word with us.
The Cylon have looked to the stars above Mentar and wondered. Generation after generation, the isolated Cylon quantums strived to unravel the mysteries surrounding them, to add an iota to their combined knowledge. Now the time has come for the Cylon Quanta to go beyond in their search for answers, to travel to the deepest reaches of the galaxy and solve the enigma at its core.
Greetings, Controller. You are the Controller, of course. It follows that I am Moldred, your cooperator. I'll be assisting you with any and all needs for your projects in the galaxy, and updating any relevant parameters as we get new information, and so on, and so forth.
Yeah, so take your guess as to who that is from Firefly. It amuses me greatly to know who that is. Alright, here we are at Mentor Prime. As you can see, I'm aware of 3 systems I can get to from mine. Rollover gives you some clue, like red star, blue-white star, orange star. And they give you an idea what kind of planets you might expect to encounter. We already have knowledge that there is a planet here. We can see Vitruvius, but we can't get to Vitruvius, at least from where we are. You will start out 1 turn away from the production of a colony ship. And we click on the show queue. You can queue up various items if you want. You can also set an auto build queue, so it will just automatically build whatever it thinks is appropriate. You can have focuses, so like if it wants food, okay, we'll throw the labor into food. You want production, we'll throw the labor into production. Personally, I'm of a manual approach myself. I just like to kind of keep control of things. Managing structures allows you to basically... This is a little clunky because I'd rather kind of have a list, to be honest. But basically this gives you access to the buildings directly that have already been constructed on your planet. Also gives you the ability to generally scrap ones that aren't essential, like this one here. Although this is pretty important on your first world, I would not recommend scrapping anything right off. So let's queue up something. Because of our particular text, we can do a research laboratory immediately. And the production will carry over, so it's up to me whether or not I want to keep that guy on there. Having more population, though, will be a boon to us eventually. As you can see, this goes from 6 to 5 with that guy here. In fact, probably best if we take a little off the research. Yeah, you're just adding 1 point. I'll get the extra food for now. The fleet needs orders.
Controller, let me interrupt you for a second.
And as you can see, we have 2 scouts. Scouts aren't actually military vessels. They're not armed. And we can set them to automatically scout if we want. I will set 1 to go to here. And I'll set the other scout to go to... This is likely to be a world with a star with worlds, so we're going to go there. Yeah, see, we already have some information now. And there's 3 planets there. I also happen to have this frigate, which I will send off towards this one to have an eyeball. And as you can see these beads on the line here? This indicates the number of turns it's going to take for me to reach that system with my current drive technology. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns to make that trip. 2 turns to make this trip. 2 turns to make this trip. As the drive technology improves, it'll be faster for us to make these trips. So we have discovered Thraxar by moving towards the warp point and just getting kind of closer. We'll need to choose our research.
Controller, our labs are staffed and ready to start researching. What should we focus on?
So let's look at the tree. This is the starting tech that we have. And generally any race has a starting tech. But they're not all the same. Some will have started with physics instead of government, for example. And physics gives you automated factories and neutron blasters. So that's an advantage in its own way. Starting with biology means you have the hydroponics farm and biospheres to start out with. And starting with engineering means you start out with destroyers and anti-missile rockets. Let's get the physics going.
There's new data you should take into account.
And so that's basically our first turn.
Controller, let me interrupt you for a second.
And this tells us about our colony ship. Now, to build the colony ship, it took a population point off of our world. Right? This colony ship is now loaded with colonists. But right now, we don't know what the worlds are like where we get to, where we're going to. So I'm going to use my colony ship to explore the asteroid belt. Which didn't really do anything terribly interesting, but eventually we can build something on this explored asteroid belt that we control. Right, so now we're at the systems, and we definitely know we have... next turn we'll be able to get here and see what that's like. Next turn we can choose one of these as well, and we're still en route over here. I'm going to just hedge my bet, right? And I'm going to, let's see, blue-white stars. Extremely difficult to find habitable planets around them. Their planets are mineral-rich, though. And these stars are always orbited by planets that can support life, but are poor in minerals. So we know, for a fact, there's going to be a habitable planet here. But knowing from my previous experience with the game, this might well be a habitable planet, just not necessarily terribly habitable. I'm going to hedge my bet and go here. Ah.
I am the Emperor of the Bulrathi. If you wish to keep your flea-bitten pelt on your back, you'll give my kindred a wide berth.
No refunds. Okay. So they're unbound. Ah, see, here's Ursa. So that'd be where the Bulrathi start out. The universe, as you can see, is not that big. The galaxy. Right, let's pick... which one? Eeny, meeny, miny. Let's choose the big one. This is Thraxar 3. It's a large swamp world with abundant mineral resources, which is basically normal. And over here, this is Mu Delphi Prime. It's the only planet actually in the Mu Delphi system. It is a medium swamp abundant, but with gold. Gold means extra credits. So, it's not terrible. It's not admittedly not a Terran world, which would be nice, but it's not terrible. This, you can plan the moves ahead. You can just kind of go, okay, do that. I like this, how it curves around the sun. It's just an extra little point of polish. It's nice. Yeah, we'll move into this planet. We'll have time to explore the remaining worlds to choose our best destination here.
Controller, new developments require your immediate attention.
Ah. That is a space dragon, and that is much worse than a space squid or a space eel. So, yeah, we're not going to be using that world anytime soon. But it's over in Ruan's system, so it's not a big worry. This here is Thraxar 2, and it is a barren world. But it has abundant resources and medium size, and it has gold on it. Could be worse. Okay, so the last world, is Terran. It's small, though. Small, Terran, and abundant with gold. So what would be better? Large, swamp, or small, Terran? I mean, you want to grab the Terran ones while they're available, but at the same time, this is going to be able to support a much larger population of 12. It's just going to be harder to get there because the food's not going to be as nice. Honestly, though, 433 and 2, 433 and 2. This one's only going to support 8 people. It does have the gold, though, which is also in its favor. Yeah, we'll colonize Thraxar Prime, and then we'll send another one.
Developments require your immediate attention.
And I believe we'll just colonize right away. So now you get a cutscene. And that's again a callback to the original Master of Orion. You used to get these little cutscenes when you colonize planets. And we haven't finished our research, our automated factory tech yet. So we're just gonna, actually I'm gonna put in for government support facility because we need to keep morale up. Otherwise we'll have striking workers. But yeah, I've been prattling on for 40 minutes now, and I enjoy it. But I'm looking forward to more, and I'm expecting more changes. This is not a finished product. I would not say it's time for you to run out and buy this game. First off, you're not just buying this game, you're buying 3 other games of relative varying quality and great age. Secondly, the game's probably a bit easy. Third, it is still well in development, and there's a lot to be done with it yet. Various races aren't in the game yet. The Darlocks, the whole espionage system isn't here. Diplomacy seems semi-functional. Space combat really is completely hands-off at the moment. And so while we have a functioning basic game, there's still a lot of tuning and a lot of adjusting and a lot of building that can be supported to make this a better game. And I think Wargaming wants to make a really good game. So I'm expecting a lot more. But it's early access. There are no guarantees. Okay? If you're sitting here thinking, should I spend $60 on Master of Orion? Don't. Only do this if you really want to be in at this stage. You should really wait until there's a finished product for you to buy. And that is what I have to say about every early access game. Basically, this is not the time to join in. As fun as this is. In that, see, this is the thing. I really like Master of Orion. Master of Orion is like one of my favorite games ever. And I don't play it anymore because it is just a DOS 6 game. It runs in like 480 resolution. It's not really meant to... It's a pain in the ass to get running through like DOSBox. And it's really just showing signs of age. But I spent so much time playing that game back in the day. But hey, it's the 90s all over again. I'm playing XCOM and Master of Orion. It's 2016? No, it's 1992 again. I can play Civilization, XCOM, and Master of Orion. Next they'll remake Master of Magic. That'd be nice. Or I can get a new Mech Warrior game. How about that? Can I play Phoenix Warriors again? So, yeah, I'm going to wrap up here. I'm certain I'll come back to this well again. Maybe we'll do a playthrough series, I don't know. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.